Oh. Okay. Hey, I'm trying to get crunk.
Tell them how we gonna come. Tell them why they don't want none. Tell them why they better run.
Stand up and get crunk. Okay.
Here we come to get you.
Okay.
You better get here we come to get you.
A little bit more
Here
crunk.
we come to get you. You better
Okay.
get here we come to get you. A little bit more people all over the world. Tell them why they better run.
Oh my goodness, you can't tell me that don't get you up off of your feet, man. I'm saying for real. Welcome back to the UREIGN podcast.
You know we tell that stick
Straight up, where we talk that stick talk, man. I got a great special guest. My cousin's in the house tonight, LaTrisha Buckingham. We're gonna get straight to it tonight. I'm gonna bring it straight to the forefront, man. But I'm telling you, that music slamming.
Hey,
Oh, what up, cuz?
what's up?
Man, I said,
Stand up, get drunk.
we coming to get them crunk tonight, cuz. Straight up. You got your wine, I got my shine. So here we go. Thank you for coming on to the show because you got a lot to talk about. Truthfully, you do. When I reached out to you and I called you, I said, hey, cuz, could you be on the podcast? You said, what I got to talk about? I said, when would you say to me?
Yeah, what I'm gonna say?
And you have so much to talk about, man. Strong Black woman, your journey through life and what I've seen you accomplish. I feel you got so much to tell people, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to hear your story, your side of the story. But also you are what makes this real big that you are a class of 1997 alumni. Yes,
Oh my God.
yes, you are. And we want to give a shout out to that picture right there. And you look the same. People say you actually look the same from that picture. That's 25 years ago. What do you think?
Yeah, people tell me I look the same. I don't know.
Beautiful. But I thank you for coming on to the show. We're gonna start off. I ask how's it? Uh, 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 a free. They back with me? Okay. How's the
Okay,
family?
yeah. Everybody's doing good. We having a snowstorm right now, but other than that, everybody's doing all right.
That's probably what's interrupting us throughout the night because my mom was on the way home. She said y'all getting it bad. So how is everything up there? Are you going out, hanging out in clubs? Are you drinking at bars? What is your entertainment?
Uh,
I just put
club?
you out there like a little thug, didn't I? Like
No. I don't really do the clubs. I think I'm probably a little too old for that scene.
okay.
But I go out from time to time, maybe like to a lounge or something like that.
Okay. And
But it's not really a lot up here.
okay. And where you at?
I'm in Portage.
You in Portage. Okay.
Mhm.
That's good. And the dating scene up there, how is that?
Oh my God. It's terrible.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. Just gotta ask.
Yes.
So let's get into what I called you to talk about because you said you didn't have much to talk about. And Your job, you are an engineer, right?
Yeah, well, an electrician.
An electrician.
Mhm.
And you wanted to talk about being a female in a male dominated field. Now, tell me a little bit about that because, I felt that those gender roles have been broken, but I think they're still here. So, what are you experienced that a female has to go through in a male dominated field?
What I think it's interesting that you say that you felt like those gender roles have been broken
Hmm.
because even just as recent as what, like 2019,
Hmm.
somewhere around that time frame, women still only made 63 cents per every dollar that a man made for doing
Hmm.
the exact same job. So there's still that disparity there. I currently work in a steel mill,
Hmm.
and that provides me, because I'm a union worker, that provides me a little protection from that because everybody has to get paid, the same.
Hmm.
But even out there in the mill, that's considered a male dominated field. And by me being an electrician, that puts me further in the minority. There's already not a lot of female workers in the steel mill, and then there's not a lot of female electricians. So I still deal with the discrimination part of it. I've had foremen who refuse to even talk to me, deal with me until they absolutely had to.
Wow.
I've had coworkers who didn't want to work with me. I've even been assaulted at work. Like my foreman actually pushed me,
Wow.
because he was upset. So you still deal with that discrimination being a female in a male dominated field even today, which you would think is crazy.
Yeah. I
But
agree. But
yeah,
it's not uncommon because you know, I have conversations about the women's soccer team. I think it is that makes less than the men's, but they're winning, and the men are not winning. So how does that balance out? So they're fighting for the pay because they're winning. But I really don't know how all of that sports memorabilia ties into that, or the stands and stuff like that. But I think they seats is being sold out as well. So I understand the pay structure should be there equally for men and women. I also think though, coming in a certain job, it all depends. If you was working there longer than me, but we had the same educational background, I think I would have to work my way up instead of just come in and forcefully ask for something, knowing that I am worth it. But you probably got raises on top of raises annually. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
why would I come in and get the same amount of money that you're making, but you've been there for several years making an annual raise increase? So, you know, there's a lot of difference in that. But what other some of the other experience have you said he pushed you? Was it anything that came from that? The push? Was that classified as an assault?
Not a whole lot. I
Okay.
think the worst punishment that he got, they did put him out. He was out for like a week,
Mhm.
and then he got demoted. So he no longer was in that position that he held. He got demoted, and that was kind of that. The thing that really helped me in that situation was that he did it in front of somebody. So I had a man that was there and actually witnessed it.
What's the percentage of women working in the mill?
Now that I don't know,
How
but
many do you see and
I
have
don't,
lunch with?
I don't see many. But even like as far as like me being an electrician, the last department I was in was a very large department,
Mhm.
and there was two female electricians.
Okay.
And even with like one of the jobs that I did, I was trained to run a laser that was able to align motors so that you have them level at the right elevation so that they would work properly. And it was kind of like a hard job. A lot of people wasn't trained to do that.
Mhm.
And even then, I was the one that was laser aligning all the motors. And then once there was a guy that got trained, all of a sudden it became a competition. Oh, he's better than you at it. Oh, he can do it better than you. He can. And I'm looking like
What is laser lining the motors?
you use a laser. There it's actually a machine that you use and it shoots a laser beam
Mhm.
and it feeds back numbers and
Okay.
so that you are able to raise or lower or adjust the motor so that it's in the right proper position to
Okay.
work properly. So
Wow.
you input the motor information and then it like
Okay.
shoots out a laser beam and you're able to look at the numbers and manipulate the data in order to position the motor properly.
Wow. That sounds like hard work.
Well, I mean, it's not really hard,
Mhm.
but a lot of people just aren't qualified to do it.
Do
And so I
you
was one of the ones like and when I first got to my department, it's like maybe about 600 people there.
Mhm.
And I was like one of 3 people who even knew how to
Laser line?
right.
Okay.
So then when there was like finally like a new guy got qualified, trained, he could do it. Then it all of a sudden became a competition. Oh, who could do it the best? Who could
Mm,
do it the quickest? Who's faster? Who's better? It was just kind
mhm.
of like in my mind, I'm like, why? Like, why does it even matter? Why is this even a thing right now? Then
Yeah.
I felt like, yeah, it was because I was a female.
Uh, do you think it's a position you would not take or you are fearful to take inside the mill?
I'm not fearful. Um, I do feel like even though there are still those attitudes out there now, it's nowhere near as bad as it was,
Mhm.
let's say 20, 30 years ago.
Mhm.
I've worked with other women who had a really hard time where it was scary
Mhm.
to work out there as a woman.
Mm.
It's not that bad anymore, but you still deal with that aspect.
Well, in that aspect, I'm saying, is it a position that you feel that a f- as a female you would not want to do in the mill?
Nope. I
Okay.
don't feel scared to do anything out there. I don't feel
Fearful of
intimidated
taking
to do it.
any of the positions. So you saying all positions out there are equally for women to do as well.
Yes, because when you hire in, you have to take like a test, and a portion of it is physical. Like you have to be able to lift
Mhm.
a certain amount of weight. You need to be able to do a certain amount of things. So
Mhm.
once you hire in, that means you can do that. So everybody passed those minimal qualifications.
Okay.
Now, if there's something that I have to do and I have to lift something or do something that's like too heavy or something like that, somebody's just gonna have to help me, and that's just it. But like oddly enough, there has been a time where I've been stronger than some of the men that work there. So
Oh, see,
it's
that's
like,
strength, strength. Okay. Okay. That's another see, that's what I was getting at. And I'm glad I didn't have to say it and you said it.
yeah,
Is strength a part of your job to where and like you just laid it out there. Hey, I didn't did it. I didn't open this can of pickles and you couldn't even open it, buddy. So run out the way.
yeah. So there has been times where, and then like even like a lot of guys that I've worked with worked out, and
Mhm.
I could even bench press more than some of them. So it was just like, cut it out,
Okay.
quit playing.
Well, that's cool. Do you think it's a job out here that a woman is not fit for, or do you think it's any job out here that a woman, I don't feel like that way. I feel like, hey man, there's some women out here stronger than me, like you just said. Uh, I feel like if you can do it, you can do it. But do you think it's a job out here that a woman is should not do?
Off top of my head, I'm say
No,
no.
exactly. I'm talking
I
about you.
I just hate that it's even like that. Like, even like when we were in college,
Mm-hmm.
even me going through getting my degree, there was people that would tell us because there was only like 3 females that started when I started freshman year. There was guys then that even said, we didn't belong there. We didn't belong in that major. We didn't belong in that field
Mm,
because, I majored in electronics and computer hardware technology.
okay.
I had professors that refused to talk to me.
Wow.
Everything. So it's like I just feel like
Did
I've
that make
always.
you want to do it more because of the doubt that you wasn't supposed to be there?
I think a little bit that kind of drove me because
What made you
it
want
made
to
me
go in
mad.
that field? Like,
And that's what I was just about to say. I've always liked, I guess, quote unquote, guy stuff. So I've always been interested in how things worked
mhm.
or building things
See, why
or
you gotta say guy stuff though? How
no,
come?
that's what I said quote. That's why I put the air
Yeah.
quotes because it's like the stuff that I liked. It was like always
Mhm.
like, oh, quote, guy stuff.
I totally understand because I'm going through that with my daughter right now. Cool, cool.
Hmm.
I know cool is going to be girly girl, but she likes to help me in the garage as well. So I won't hold her back from that. You know what I mean? And then you have her grandmother that says, "Oh, that's guy stuff." No, it's not. They not all gonna play with dolls. You know what I mean? And
Right. And see, and I was considered a tomboy growing up. So I rode bikes and played in the dirt and
mhm,
made trails and jump ramps. And, I was doing all of that type of stuff, climbing trees,
mhm.
on rocks, catching footballs. So I
But you
just,
still was a girly girl though.
yeah. And that's the thing I deal with now when people see me at work. And then when I see them outside of work, I've had people like I've spoke like, hey, and they didn't want to speak back. They didn't even know it was me. And
Mm.
I'm like, oh my God, I look that different outside of my work clothes. Like I feel like the Alicia Keys song, like I look different outside of my work clothes.
I got sounds in here. We're having a great conversation. Well, I'm glad to be talking to you about now. Do you recommend this for other females to go down this path with you, knowing that you had a difficulties with the professors and stuff like that? Do you think it has changed from the time you went to where was this something that you looked at and said the amount of pay? Most people look at their position or career that they're going in and say, I like the way that salary sounds. Was that the factor, or was it your interest in it?
It was it was my interest in it. And
Okay.
I would absolutely recommend that any female do it if that's what she wanted to do, go for it.
Mhm.
I would never look at that as a reason, like my struggles or whatever I went through as a reason to say, no, maybe you shouldn't. No, you absolutely should. You still should. Um, I think I feel even more so because of what I went through. I feel like you definitely should. Like, come on, more. We need more people. We need more women. We need more y'all to come on and do
Okay.
these things.
I know
Hopefully
that's
that'll
right.
change it.
That's a drop right there.
I know that's right.
That's another one. So, speaking on that, so this job must pay well because you travel a lot. I see you traveling tremendously, having a great time, going to different places. Where was your last travel, and where did you have the most fun at?
Well, my most recent trip was Dubai.
Is that the
And
picture that I have? Oh, we got comments.
yes,
Oh,
that's the
look,
picture. Yeah, with the red dress.
I'm so sorry, John. The only way you're gonna have some quality is to vote. So vote for John. John, what is your problem? What up, John? What do you say? Tris, if you hit the lottery for 300 million, would you stop working and would you go to work the next day?
Well, John, thanks for the question.
Thanks for the
But
question, John.
I would stop working at the company that I work for, but I wouldn't stop working. I would do what I like to do. I would do what I
300
love.
million? Did you hear? He said 300
Yeah.
million.
I would quit my job there, but I wouldn't stop working. that now that I would be at home, I would do the stuff that I want to do.
And that's still working?
Yeah,
Why not just gardening and just getting up and just having a good time?
because
Play.
that's never been me. That's
So
never
you
been
would
me.
really go to work 300
Even
million?
now,
Yeah.
even now, as much as I work, I still volunteer. I still mentor girls. I still, I'm crafty. I still make my art. I make my crafts. I do. It's so much stuff that I do that yeah, it is. That's who I am. I would continue to do that stuff. I just wouldn't be working out there no more.
My girl Steph say she was never the feminine type growing up. She always played with boy toys, cars, dolls, wasn't it? So,
And I did both. I like dolls,
mm-hmm.
but I also played in the dirt. I
Yeah.
did both.
Catch the football. You caught the football with us from time to time.
Yeah.
So Dubai, you said you had it before. I be forgetting we had comments. There's so much to do as a producer. So I just want to let people know again, because my wife told me to say this. She said, you got to let them know that the reason why you're doing this shit is because you used to produce them. And I did used to produce them. So if anybody want their podcast produced, then call me, because I used to be behind the scenes and not on the scenes. So shit. I paid for this equipment though, Trish. So I got to use this shit.
See? Hey, you gotta multitask.
So Dubai, this Dubai right here, right?
Yes.
Now, how was this trip? Because I was looking at you from day to day. Was it hot? Really hot?
It was extremely hot.
Beautiful?
We went for my friend's 40th birthday.
I wish I had more pictures.
It was hot. That was the worst time of year to go, actually. We were there at the end of July, beginning of August, and it's the hottest time of the year. So it was like 120 degrees every day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was really hot. It was a different type of heat.
Did you have to pay? How much did you have to pay for this photo shoot? Might I ask, you know?
Well, the photo shoot, it was like a package. So they picked us up, they drove us out there to the desert.
Mm-hmm.
The costumes, and then the photo shoot. We got all the pictures. Then we had so many of them edited. I think it was probably we paid about $200 and something a piece for
Okay,
the whole thing.
So when you book a trip, do you book it? Because I'm terrible at booking trips. Do you book it, or do you have someone else book it? How do you look into the details of getting a package deal for a trip like that?
Well, for Dubai, we had a travel agent. But we did book that the dress photo shoot. We booked that ourselves, but we did have a travel agent for the whole trip.
It says John is back on etiquette training. He said, do you think younger women in supervisory roles today should have some etiquette training as far as dealing with older men or men, period?
Well, I feel like they probably should have some etiquette training on dealing with women.
John. Damn, what my drop at for that joint? I got one. Oh, there we go. Gotta find the right one.
John. But come on, John. Come on.
John, you can call in. I take live calls during the segment, man. Call in if you want to call in. 317-370-3101. If you want to speak to Trish or even ask us some questions live, you can call her. So he's saying, what's that? Smothered pork chops or fried?
Oh, John. That's a hard one. Now that's a hard one.
I'm taking, that is a hard one, because the way I'm feeling now, like I fried chicken a day and I baked it for my old lady. So I'm going to eat the baked chicken instead of the fried. That's crazy.
Sometimes I don't really eat a lot of fried food, and sometimes I just want like a good fried pork chop.
Did they have good food in Dubai?
Yes. The thing about Dubai is when you went to the restaurant to eat, they prepared your food fresh. So if you ordered pasta, it wasn't like dried pasta. They made your pasta fresh. It was homemade pasta. Everything was fresh. You can tell.
And ain't no box.
No.
Bertilli, what is it called? Bertilli's pasta.
Yeah, no, Barilla.
Barilla.
Yeah, it wasn't none of that. Even if you ordered like juice,
Mm-hmm.
it was fresh squeezed. So if you had like orange juice, they were squeezing oranges. If you had watermelon juice, it was fresh squeezed watermelon.
Watermelon
Fresh.
juice.
Yeah,
You have
fresh
watermelon
watermelon.
juice?
Yeah,
Have you
everything
ever,
over there was
tell me when
delicious.
you can get some watermelon juice at down here.
But we was drinking
How
it
was
over
your
there.
hotel? Beautiful.
Yes, we stayed at two different hotels because we stayed in Dubai and then we stayed in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Abu Dhabi is the richest emirate. It
Yeah.
was real nice over there. It
Okay.
was real nice over there.
Mm.
And then
Any racism?
I don't I don't think it was any racism over there, but there was definitely sexism over there.
Hmm.
So, over there women are kind of considered like second class citizens. So,
Exactly.
there were times when, especially if we wasn't with the man that was with us,
Hmm.
you can tell that like if we had like a driver or something, he was very uncomfortable. There was times where you would talk to some of the men and they wouldn't say anything back. They would walk away from you.
Is it because you wasn't covered properly, you think?
I think part of that was, but I even experienced like that from the women. Like some of the women would be rude, and I felt like it was probably because I wasn't dressed how they felt like I should be dressed.
Because you showing off yourself to they men.
And we felt like it was regular. Like even if I had a long dress on that was all the way down, if it was sleeveless or if it was even short sleeve, that was like a no. Like, no.
Yeah, because you're showing off too much skin. And it's
So,
temptation in their country.
but we outside and it's 120 degrees, and it's like now I gotta put on all these clothes. And it was so hot that it was like my brain stopped functioning. Like I can't even think. And it's like, you just be kind of looking around and it's like I don't even really feel like I'm seeing everything correctly. Like I feel like I'm looking and I'm not processing right. And we
Really,
wasn't sweating. It's like it's so hot,
really,
you're not
really
even
past
sweating.
that Mississippi heat, huh?
Man, it was something different. It
Well,
was something different.
that was your last trip, huh? That was the one you had the most fun in. Well, I'm glad, man.
No, I actually had the most fun in Jamaica.
Okay.
I was ready to come back to Jamaica and I was still in Jamaica.
Wow. What
Yeah,
part of you was just
we were in Montego Bay.
um who you go with? Couple of
I went with my cousin and some friends. Like Angela was there. We all went.
and why did you like that so much? Did you feel like Stella got a groove back or something?
First, number one, look, the men in Jamaica, look. And they wasn't scared, they wasn't ashamed, they was gonna let you know.
Hey,
I
listen
had a
up, Bob.
whole man propose. We had a photo
Oh,
shoot and everything.
where them pictures at, man?
It
Wow.
was like we was taking wedding proposal pictures overlooking the ocean and stuff. And yeah, Jamaica was
Everywhere
fun.
you go, you always attract something. I see you every time. You always got somebody coming up to you.
Yeah,
Don't be bad, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, look at cuz over there getting a flirt on. So
yeah,
you
them
say you
foreign
not
men.
gonna come back, huh?
Yeah, I was ready to go back to Jamaica.
Do you still keep in contact with that person?
No. No, I could have because he gave me his contact, but
Mhm.
Jamaica's in Jamaica.
So does that affect your mental health?
What?
I don't know. I was just going into the next segment. Just trying to segue into the next segment of mental health to see if you not seeing him anymore affect your mental health.
No.
Let's talk about mental health. Why was this such a good one of your topics that you wanted to talk about, mental health?
I just feel like, especially at this time, a lot of people are struggling with that.
Mhm.
There was even a time where I struggled with my mental health, and it's not talked about enough.
Mhm.
And it took me a long time to even realize that that was what was going on.
How did you figure it out?
I don't really know how I figured it out. I think it just kind of came to me one day.
How did you work it out? Are you still
Yeah,
working
I think
it
I'm
out?
probably still in the process of working it out.
But you didn't collapse or it didn't break you. And
No.
some people would do. What I tell
Yeah,
a
some
lot of
people
people
do.
from, us from Gary, man, we've been through so much shit that I think we know how to deal with a lot of shit that comes our way. You know what I mean? To where hopefully we don't break down. Because sometimes I feel like, like you said, all of us, but you try not to let that shit show because I think we don't, like we say, we don't want to be called weak or somebody trying to put us on meds or we got a problem. But you got to talk to somebody about certain things. You know what I'm saying? To get
Yeah.
certain stuff off of your chest. And I think if you had someone to be able to bounce a conversation off of to where they're not going to give you any negative feedback on it, which is a good friend, and you can maneuver through your situation, that's like relieving the stress because you're not in it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to always remember that.
Yeah. But I think it's like we put up a front. Like we've learned to cover it up, but not necessarily deal with it.
So John
Yeah.
said Indiana is felony citizens as far as mental health. But John, what is your solution for that? So what do you think the solution is? Like, did you talk to someone? Kiana player, hey KP.
Hey
Mental
girl,
health is so
hey.
important or not discussed, addressed enough amongst our people. It's not.
Mm-mm. Because I think we've been taught not to take care of ourselves. We've been taught to push everything back, take care of everything else, everybody else. And I think that's almost like a coping mechanism. And so now it's starting to really come to the forefront.
So Steph say, but when you do need to talk to someone, they're busy. You're talking to the wrong person, Steph, because you've always asked me how to handle something through a message, and I've always respond through stuff that you're going through with your sports. So sometimes it's just the wrong person you're looking to get an answer from.
Mhm.
It's
They
somebody
probably
else.
not even qualified to help you with what you need help with.
There you go. So you just got to make sure you got the right person. Hey, KP.
Hey.
What's that? Make the allocate the money properly. Make. I think that's what he said. All right, John. John, why don't you just call? We would love to hear your voice, John. I have not had a damn caller, John. The numbers across the screen, John. And we're talking about mental health. John, you are a person that have mental health problems. And today, me and Trish is offering free help with a phone call away. If anybody out there has any mental health issues and you want to call us, the number is across the screen. I feel like a televangelist right now. Don't it feel good to be across the screen? John is going across the bottom of the banner, but we'll put the number up for it. So, do you know anybody else with mental health issues? And what's some of the most uh what do you think some of what do you think people should do to get help with their mental health issues?
I think they should see a therapist, a counselor. They should talk to somebody that's qualified. That's their job. That's their training to
And that's a hard
talk.
thing to do. What do you do? Just end up typing in therapist, you know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't gonna even lie. Check this shit out, cuz I type in anger management classes. And that shit I don't really get nothing, because sometimes I feel like I got anger management. Hold on, let's we have a caller. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? You're on the air with Jackie and Trish.
Oh, what's up, Jack? This is John.
Hey, John, nice to hear from you.
Is this Fox Glen Marketing?
This is Fox Glen Marketing and Media Production. You are on the podcast, UREIGN Podcast with Trish and Jackie.
Hey, what's up, Trish?
Hey, John.
So what we talking about?
We are talking about mental health, male-dominated fields. Right now, we're on the topic of mental health, and what do you think someone should do if they need help with a mental health situation?
Oh yeah, I think that's a like a stigmata with our people. We don't like talking to other people when it comes to mental health, but we should.
Have you ever dealt with the issue, John, that you needed help with?
Yeah. In the past, I had to. I was in a previous situation where the person really needed to have some counseling, and then the counselor said, "Well, why don't you bring in, your significant other, or whatever?" And I went.
Okay, is that the end of the story?
Pretty much, what I'm saying. That was the
Okay.
only time I ever went as far as, what I'm saying, counseling.
Have you? So, a lot of people don't know this about you. We're gonna thank you for the call, but you did serve some time, right? In the service, in the armed services.
Yep.
Did that cause any stress or any mental health issues with you?
You know what? I didn't see any war, but it was very, very stressful.
Mhm.
I ran into a lot of situations, racism, uh, inequality throughout the ranks as far as promotions. But like you said previously, being where we're from, it's like we kind of built a little bit tougher. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I kind of just pushed through it, just dealing with things differently than some other people would. And I don't know if that's a regional thing as well. Like, you would see younger guys, their first time being out in the world, not knowing how to handle situations and handle people. I was always taught, what I'm saying, it's kind of easy to get your point across if you catch somebody by themselves and pull them to the side and talk to them.
Okay.
A lot of times when you try to talk to them in front of a crowd, it always doesn't be beneficial to your situation or advantageous to your situation. But it is when you pull them to the side, when it's just you and that person and nobody else around, they kind of get a better understanding. So, I think we just, like you said, we built a little bit different, even though we still should always seek mental health if we need it.
Yeah. Well, John, we appreciate your call. Do you have anything else you want to ask Miss Buckingham?
I was gonna ask Trish, when y'all was talking about the ladies in the workforce, does she think that when I was talking about the training and stuff, because from what I've seen is you have these younger women in the workforce, right, who are put into supervisory positions, and sometimes not every woman, but sometimes they'll try to flex their authority a little bit in an unnecessary way. And it doesn't always work with every particular man. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, as long as you stay professional, you don't have to give me anything extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you need to reprimand me for whatever reason, that's fine. But you don't have to put anything kind of extra attitude on it to flex your muscle because that's the position you're in.
Hold on. Because now you got to think about what he's saying and who he's saying that about. Now, this goes to, I think, a black and white issue to where our black women do have, they put a little sauce on it. You understand what I'm saying? And so what he's saying is a white supervisor wouldn't talk to a black male with that saucy attitude that we know that comes up in our family. You see what I'm saying? And I think it's just how you're presenting your delivery. You see what I'm saying? That's almost, which is true though, you know. As black women, y'all know y'all put a little, come on, John. So it's the delivery of it and how you sit here and I don't know, that's deep. Am I going too far on this one, Trish? But it's also attitude. I don't think you would have that delivery as a supervisor because that's not how you are as a person. You see what I'm saying?
You know, I see what he's saying. I feel like I've seen it both though. I've seen it from black women and white women. But I feel like sometimes they feel like they have to be a little more extra to get that respect.
Mm, mm, mm. They
And
have
so
to
it's
show
not it's
tough.
not a thing, it's not a thing where I feel like they need more training on how to deal with men. I still think it's a both. Like I think the men need to have that training as well, because the reason why they are like that and they feel like they kind of have that little, they need that little, put that little extra on it, is because they're being treated as if they shouldn't be in that position, or as if they can't manage me, a man, or if they, so now they have to kind of come in and put this little extra on it to kind of exert that authority.
Or they being so nice and then the knuckleheads ain't really listening and they lagging on it. You know what I'm saying? Which
Yep.
we would do as men. Oh, she telling us, oh, I just sit here, so she has to be firm and make the decision that, hey man, you got to either do this or I'm gonna fire your ass. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
And
Some people
there's
really want to put
some
that.
male, like, well, at least where I work, like some of the male foremen, they can kind of laugh and joke with you and still get things done. But the females, they can't do too much laughing and joking.
Because
They
they
say
need
they have
somebody
to be
lollygagging.
serious
Yeah.
and solid all the time, because that one little crack and then that's it. It's over. Nobody gonna listen no more. Nobody gonna respect it no more. And,
You
so it's
gotta,
like they have to be more. They
yeah,
have to be better. They have to be, they can't show who they really
dominant.
are, their
You have to
personality.
be dominant. They
Yeah.
have to be dominant. Well, John, we thank you for your call, man. Please stay in, comment some more. We're going to go ahead and move to a topic. There's triple negative breast cancer, because today is March 3rd. And Trish, I'll get back to you, John. Thank you so much, sir, for calling in.
Okay, y'all keep it going.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks,
So,
John.
today is Triple Negative Breast Cancer Day, March 3rd, which you told me about. Did a little research up on it. Tell me why this is such an important topic, which it should be an important topic, to a lot of people as well. So tell me about triple negative breast cancer.
Um, I've been involved with the charity Laini Fluellen Charities for
Mhm.
about 11 years now. But triple negative breast cancer is important to me. My mother had it. When my mother had breast cancer, she had triple negative breast cancer. Um, a lot of close people in my family, my aunts, friends, they've been diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. But it's also a form of breast cancer. It's very aggressive, but it affects predominantly Black and Hispanic women at a higher number than it affects white women. Even though white women do get triple negative breast cancer, Black and Hispanic women die from it at a higher rate. So right now, I volunteer with the charity. I'm the community relations chair,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also a certified breast health educator, which means that I go out and I teach women about the importance of doing their self exams and getting their mammograms. Even educating women on the symptoms of breast cancer, as a lot of times people think that the only symptom is a lump, but there are actually 12 symptoms of breast cancer. And a lot of people don't know that.
Mm.
So that's one of the things that we do. We focus on education, educating women, showing them, teaching them how to do their self exams, why it's important, because early detection is important. So, like for example, with typical breast cancer, if you find it early, there's like a 99% survival rate.
Mm-hmm.
But with triple negative breast cancer, even when you find it early, it's a 77% survival rate. So there's a big drop there.
Okay, because like you were saying, some of the symptoms, like they saying, it's just not the lump or the mass of the breast. It could be the change in the shape or the size or the appearance of the breast, discharge from the nipple, breast rash, change in the skin over the breast,
Mhm.
dimpling, breast pain. So it can be a lot of stuff, fatigue, depressed mood, common symptoms of severity reported by people. So it's a lot of stuff. When do you think someone should go get checked? And also, men can also have breast cancer as well.
Yes. So like women make up 99% of the cases, but
Hmm.
men make up 1% of the cases. And
Wow.
it's actually about 4,800 men that die a year from breast cancer. And what I didn't know was something interesting to me is that when a man is diagnosed with breast cancer, they get the same treatment as a woman. They are the same treatment options. So there are men who get double mastectomies or lumpectomies, or it's the same treatment.
Mm. And you say my auntie had to go through this, huh?
Yes, she did. Yep. And at that time, I didn't really know what triple negative breast cancer was. I wasn't as knowledgeable about it then as I am now.
And it says a good treatment result depends on several factors. So it's like chemotherapy is what can really make a difference in the outcome. The size, invasive part of a tumor. So I recommend, people really look into it. I'm glad that you brought this topic up on the day. I know you were saving to talk about this on this day. So we really want to make everybody aware of breast cancer and breast cancer awareness and triple negative breast cancer. Um, Cause is there anything that you want to say to the people before we close out, or is it any special thing you want to say about your field or triple mental health and triple negative breast cancer?
Oh, I definitely want to make sure that people get their mammograms and perform their self breast exams, because early detection is the key to survival. Um, I know a lot of times it's scary, but you have to kind of push through that because early detection can save your life. Um, I just wanted to see, I don't know if this will really show good, but this is just one of the visuals that we do have that shows the 12 symptoms of potentially having breast cancer. And that, just on that topic, that's the main thing, is that make sure you do your self exams, make sure you get your mammograms, because early detection is the key.
Because I really appreciate you taking your time out on a Friday night to get this information out and talk to me. I had a great conversation with you. Um, Thank you
Yeah,
so
we
much,
need to thank John too.
John. Appreciate you, John. Big J, he always come through, man. Steph, I appreciate you too for your comments. Kiana Player. Like I said, if anybody want their podcast produced, y'all can reach out to me. 317-370-3101. Family, I want you to stay safe. Thanks for the information. And I love you, girl.
All right, love you too.
All right, you have a good night.
All right.
Everybody, This was Trish Buckingham. And you know, my thing is the way we came in, I think is the way we going out.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get crunk.